Millennial mystery resolved, fabled ancient labyrinth reportedly found in Egypt. Let's remember that the ancient Greek historian Herodotus wrote about an ancient city underneath the Giza pyramids. No doubt he had reports of something like this coming to him from Solon, who was told by an ancient Egyptian priest Solon told Plato, and Herodotus probably found out that there were such recounts of ancient Atlantean technology, pre-flood civilizations that had constructed underground cities. We don't know what for, but they were reports of underground cities constructed underneath the Giza pyramids and other pyramid structures of Egypt. Now, we were told from the reading of the Emerald Tablets written by Thoth the Atlantean that there was an underground labyrinth city of thousands of chambers filled with luxurious furnishings and trinkets, utensils that were for thousands, hundreds of thousands of people to be living down there in security. Now, what is happening here? The ancient labyrinth reportedly found. Describing the way the labyrinth likely looked centuries ago, one researcher claimed that the discovery of the structure was suppressed. Archaeologists in Egypt have uncovered ruins which over 1,000 years ago might have formed the basis of the complex of buildings with galleries and courtyards that were described as a labyrinth by the legendary Greek historian Herodotus, according to the Daily Express reports. The paper reports the discovery was made in the vicinity of the so-called Black Pyramid, about 90 kilometers south of Cairo, with the foundations in question first being found by Egyptologist Flinders Petrie back in the 19th century. And while it was initially theorized that the structure was demolished during the reign of Ptolemy II, this reported in 2008, the Mathana expedition made a surprising find under the sands, which led researcher Ben van Kerwijk to proclaim that the great lost labyrinth of ancient Egypt had been found, and that it is a rare thing for ancient historical mysteries to ever be fully resolved. He said this was a gigantic and mythical structure, said by some to have surpassed the achievements of the pyramids, a huge array of thousands of underground halls, temples, and chambers, dwarfing all known Egyptian temple sites several times over. This is what Van Kerwijk said, describing the labyrinth's original appearance. He says this structure was visited and witnessed firsthand by the great historians thousands of years ago, yet ultimately was lost to the sands of the desert, and its physical presence remained unknown for more than 2,000 years. He also claimed that the discovery was allegedly suppressed, and that the incredible potential of this site is being slowly and irrevocably destroyed by both inaction and by the authorities and by the water table in the area that's rising. Van Kerwijk said, sadly, lamenting, although this expedition was conducted with the full cooperation and permission of the Supreme Council of Antiquities of Egypt, the official results and conclusions of this legitimate scientific study have never been released. Isn't that sad? I think it's because, there are a lot of people saying the reason may be that it would force the Egyptians to have to concede to the fact that it was not the ancient Egyptians who built these pyramids, but that they were built way before the ancient Egyptian pharaohs, the dynastic epochs of ancient Egypt, that it was really much way earlier than that. There were a lot of pharaohs that claimed and witnessed that these pyramid complexes were there way before the first dynastic pharaohs of Egypt. Also, the Emerald Tablets, and you'll find a playlist of that in my playlist of the Emerald Tablets, written by Thoth the Atlantean. He claims that Atlantic technology was spread around the earth after by Atlanteans who fled Atlantis after the sinking of Atlantis. Atlantis, he said, sank slowly in thousands of years. It wasn't in the matter of a few days or hours. and that a lot of Atlanteans had reestablished themselves, reestablished new cities everywhere in the earth, and the first thing they did was to build pyramids for some reason. There are these things, these granite blocks, 100-ton blocks, the lid alone 30 tons, claim that they could have been batteries of some sort, and that the pyramids could have been for production of energy. Anyway, hopefully the labyrinth's details will be released and not suppressed by the Egyptian antiquities. We'll see what happens. And this is on Sputnik News. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.